Hi, and welcome to the video. My name is Annika, and today I will be discussing 3 key elements of designing a welcoming classroom environment that promotes learning, inspiration, and collaboration. I want to preface that specifically I will be referring to elementary classrooms, but that is not to say that there are no takeaways for middle school and high school. The question I want to look at is, how does the physical environment of the classroom contribute to children's interpersonal wellness and learning? I'm currently a student teacher, and I've found as I talk to my peers that the topic of setting up our future classroom comes up a lot. We love to look up Pinterest at the millions of ideas, but the more I look, the more I've noticed that the so-called Pinterest perfect classrooms are really not that perfect. Lots of them look great in a photo, but are they actually great for students to learn in day in and day out? For example, take a look at this classroom. Now this one. Do you see a difference? How did the first one make you feel compared to the second one? Both of them are images found on Pinterest, but have completely different feels to them. So it is not to say don't take inspiration from Pinterest, but that we need to understand what to look for. I have picked 3 elements that after some research I feel to be key in creating a good classroom learning environment. These include wall space, lighting, and seating. Before I jump into the video, I want to go over the importance of classroom environment as a whole and explain why it is a catalyst for cultivating learning. So, without further ado, let's get started. Reggio Emilia identifies a child's 3 teachers as the parent, the teacher, and the environment. By seeing the environment as an educator, as the Reggio Emilia approach does, we can begin to notice how our surroundings can take on a life of their own that contributes to children's learning. The way you place things in your classroom environment can invite discussion and spark interest. We can take our inspiration from how children look at the world so that we do not just see a room, we see potential for a space that can be welcoming, comfortable, and peaceful. The classroom is more likely to become a child's favorite place if it supports autonomy, social affiliation, and creative exploration and expression. Attention to the environment as a third teacher, because it is so close to the children's ways of interacting with the world, is one way to accomplish these goals. So understand that the classroom itself plays a role, and that as teachers we have the opportunity to utilize it as an effective teaching tool that promotes wellness and nurtures discovery. Now, it is important to note that there are so many pieces to classroom environment that I don't have time to touch on. But I've chosen the 3 that I've seen having the biggest impact on students, whether good or bad. I want to go over some of the do's and don'ts of setting up your classroom so that I can hopefully help you know where to start when it comes to creating a positive learning environment. Starting with wall space, there is a big difference between decorating and designing a classroom. Decorating is simply making something look more attractive, whereas designing involves making a plan that has a focus on the look and function of something. Our classroom needs to be thought out and designed with a purpose in mind. Of course we want our classrooms to look nice, but is our purpose for it to look pretty, or is it to help students learn better? Some key details in the way that we approach wall space should include color and aesthetic. Let me show you some more examples of what I mean. Take a look at these 2 images in the context of color. These classrooms are well organized and they have fun fonts, etc. And it looks nice in a picture, but those colors are so bright that for many children it would be too overstimulating, that they would be more focused on the color than the content. So maybe some more muted colors might look better. Here are some muted colors, but is this really any less stimulating? Yes, all the trendy colors and designs are there, but you can barely read anything because of the amount of images and things to focus on. A good rule of thumb is that less is more. We also have to pay attention to whether our classrooms cater towards one gender. I'm not saying that pink is only for girls, but gender stereotypes exist. So how would a grade 4 boy feel like this is his classroom too if it looks like his little sister's room? I like these examples better. They still use some of the trendy muted colors, giving that calm atmosphere, but they allow for some breathing room on the walls, and it does not cater specifically towards one gender. Another important aspect of wall space that I see underutilized is bulletin boards. So many times teachers will cover a kindergarten classroom in a whole bunch of quotes, but the kindergartners can't even read them. Bulletin boards should be for displaying children's work. By making walls speak with the children's learning, parents and other adults are also invited into a dialogue so that messages do not bounce away into empty, overly cluttered space. Quotes and pretty printed pictures are nice, but when they take up space that could be used to showcase the students, they take away the opportunity to show your students that they are part of your classroom and that what they do is important and should be seen. The aesthetic of a classroom should be focused on the beauty and art coming from your own students and not commercial images. Prefabricated commercial images serve to silence children's voices. So let's save our decorating for the holidays and remember that wall space, color, and aesthetic can make a difference in creating not only an effective learning environment, but also a caring classroom culture. The next point on our list is lighting. It is something that can be easily overlooked, but can really set the mood for a classroom. Studies have shown natural lighting's positive effects on mood, stress levels, performance, well-being, and concentration. It is key that we find a balance between natural and unnatural light. In a study done looking at children's light preferences, they found children's attraction to windows and natural light influence their behavior, and in free choice situations, the children preferred to be near windows due to the amount of light and the possibility of seeing outside. So let's not always close our blinds in our classroom, but only do so at appropriate times. Allow for windows to be near students' workspaces. Don't prevent them from being able to look out a window because a shelf is in the way. Of course, we cannot solely rely on the sun to light up the classroom, but we can achieve a similar warm effect by using lamps and fairy lights. Sometimes it is nice to change the mood by only having lamps or turning the lights off completely, and then later in the day turning them back on. It can give the students' eyes a break and can change the mood to be more calm and relaxed. Even just put on a lamp in a reading corner or as an art piece. Here's some great examples of ways to use light in the classroom. Creating a warm, welcoming, and inspiring place can be as simple as turning on and off a light switch. Lastly, let's talk about seating. Classrooms are increasingly moving away from traditional desks in rows to what is known as flexible seating. To better understand this concept, here are some examples. Studies show how students prefer this method of seating because they are given more free choice in where they sit. Flexible seating kind of mimics the idea of a coffee shop. A traditional setup emphasizes regulation and order over comfort. While those things are important, they can be found almost more so in flexible seating because students being more comfortable will help them pay more attention. Providing flexible seating enhances brain function, and promoting student choice can help students gain those 21st century skills that are part of the BC curriculum. Floor seating, ball chairs, standing, couches, stools, and still regular chairs are all examples of flexible seating. Wobbly stools or ball chairs might be ideal for those who need to move more. Others may like sitting on a pillow on the floor or writing on a clipboard while sitting on a comfy couch. The options are endless. Even on a small budget, there are options for flexible seating that are inexpensive and don't require the purchase of the more expensive commercial products. Other concerns teachers typically have with flexible seating is that students have the freedom to choose to sit with their friends. Nevertheless, if there's any problem, you as the teacher can monitor and move students as needed. One style of seating may be better from some students than others. It can help students learn what they need in order to succeed. Knowing the expectations can also limit issues if students have a clear understanding of each seating choice. By setting up spaces for groups and partners, students are able to work more collaboratively. Age is also another thing to keep in mind. you may set up your classroom differently for a kindergarten classroom compared to a grade 5 classroom. But it is not to say that both can't be successful with flexible seating. The design just may look a little different. Within kindergarten, you may need more direction compared to grade 5s who are more aware of their personal learning needs. I have created a model classroom to help you get a better understanding of how to set up a classroom by creating a basic flexible seating design. In this photo, you can see the model classroom that I've created. I made it with a cardboard box, printed off some pictures, and cut out some shapes to represent the furniture and layout. Making a model would be a great way of testing out flexible seating styles for your own classroom as well. Here we have the front of the classroom. Any blue squares that I've placed in this model all represent carpeting. We have the teacher's area with a desk and a kiddie-style table with 3 ball chairs, and this is so that the teacher has an opportunity to work with those students specifically, and these chairs still face the front of the classroom if students would like to sit there during a lecture. Then we have 3 clumps of 4 desks for 4 students to sit at each, and this offers the more traditional style while still allowing for collaboration. The yellow shape represents a couch, and behind it is a taller table where there are some bar stools. There's also an individual desk for any students who need to work more by themselves or just prefer that, and a round table to offer a different style of table to work collaboratively in. There could either be regular chairs there or stools. Here is another angle of the classroom with the windows. Again, all the blue squares represent carpeting, and the cream-colored long rectangles represent shelving. Under the left window, I have a reading corner. The pink circles represent beanbag chairs. Under the right window is another shelf, and in front of that is a larger table that can be used as an art workspace or an extra center space. Here we are facing the back of the classroom. You can see the cubby area, and the space in the middle, again, another carpeted area with a shelf, and this time a lower table with 5 pillows around the table for children to have a different seating option. This might not be the best place for children to sit during a lecture as it's a bit further away, but this is a great time for collaborative work or reading time. And finally, we have the last wall of the classroom. Because this is an elementary classroom, I have created a carpeted area. Again, the blue represents the carpet, and the white rectangles represent IKEA shelving, which works great for storage and also provides another seating area for those who struggle to sit on the carpet. This is just one of many ways of setting up a classroom, and these are just only some of the many flexible seating options that you can find out there. I hope this gives you an accurate understanding of what flexible seating is, how it can be used, and its benefits. So in summary, the key elements of creating an effective classroom learning environment are wall space, lighting, and seating. By keeping these in mind and understanding how they impact students' learning and personal wellness, you can now filter through some of those not-so-perfect Pinterest classrooms. I hope you found this video helpful, and don't forget to have fun designing your classroom. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!